Well, welcome, welcome. I want to welcome you to the Foundation for Conscious Living community. So, my name is Michelle Yasuda, and I'm the program director for the Big Leap Home online programs. And these programs are designed to support individuals, organizations, and communities in generating agency, connection, and creativity on our shared planet. And this call that you're on right now is one of the ways that we do this. So I so appreciate you being here with us. So I just have a couple of logistics to go over. I want to make sure that you're aware that we have a community on the Mighty Networks. And I'm just going to do a little mute there. Okay. We have a community on the Mighty Networks, and it's an online gathering space for us to connect with each other. And you'll hear about the latest events like this kind of event. And you'll also find tools and practices that you can use every day. And so I'm going to put a link in the chat once I'm done. I'll do that. And let's see. So what else do I want to tell you about? I think that's about it. We have an amazing class planned for you tonight, and I want to just go ahead and start turning this over to our amazing facilitators. So we have a tradition in the Big Leap Bridge, which is for me to appreciate the facilitators. And when we have two, we kind of have a little chain of appreciations. And yeah, I love it, love it, love it. So I believe I am starting with Terry. Am I right on that? Did I get that right? Okay, well, Terry, it's so easy for me to think about appreciating you. I think one of the things that comes to mind immediately is your genuine and beautiful smile. So when I'm with you, yeah, there's just this, I feel immediately connected, and I am so appreciative of your amazing wisdom from all of your years in the educational field, and how you have supported me in expanding my own um, really awareness and practices and tools. And we have had so much fun playing together in the Hendrix world. So I just appreciate your commitment to this work being in the world and you being here today to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you now.
You, Michelle. It feels yummy. And I am going to appreciate my co-facilitator, Sandra. Sandra is across the pond. And I first met her, I guess it was when, I don't really remember, reweaving, perhaps, through some course, and got to know her. And then she chose to become part of our Restoring Resourcefulness faculty, and I had the honor of being her mentor. So I got to know her pretty darn well, and still appreciate our connection times when we get to talk to each other. And I admire her steadiness with all of the different things that she's doing in her life, including having a college-age daughter, and all that brings to one's life. And Sandra, I appreciate your inquisitive mind. You're always looking at different trainings and how this fits with the Hendrix work and blending things together. Yeah, I'm delighted to co-facilitate F.A.C.T with you today.
Thank you, Terry. That's
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, raise your hand if this is your first Hendrix course. Have you done anything else Hendrix before? Yes, Sherry. Yes, Leslie. Yes, Matthew. Okay, great. Big Leap Bridge classes are designed, as Michelle said, to give you an entry point into the work. So I'm going to jiggle for a second to make sure I'm fully here and invite you to do the same thing. Sharing that no matter how many times I facilitate, Hello, darling. There's always this little nervous excitement that happens as we begin. I think I'm in my body now. Are you guys in yours? Super. I'm Terry Morganti-Fisher. I'm a Big Leap coach, a leadership and transformation graduate, and I'm on the Restoring Resourcefulness faculty, which I happily coordinate with Michelle. I've been studying with Gay and Katie since 1996, which can show you that you can still learn no matter how long you play along with them. They evolve and you evolve along with them. To start off, I'm going to do a brief interview, not an interview, overview, and then Sandra and I will each explain a step of the F.A.C.T process, and then we'll allow a little time for questions and discoveries in between each step. So as things come up, or you have a question, or you think, aha, I had never thought of that before, you can use your voice. We're also going to try our best to embed a demo of me leading Sandra through the process and interwoven throughout. So, what is F.A.C.T? As you know, the Hendricks work is based on somatic, body-centered practices, which are best learned when your body leaves your brain. That's the biggest deal. Before Hendricks, I was a brain, and I'm not sure I even realized I had a body. I just barreled through the world trying to get things done. Brain, brain, brain. And now I don't, which is delightful. When I can remember to shift back into my body, I often experience exquisite understandings. F.A.C.T integrates all 7 of the Restoring Resourcefulness tools. So Restoring Resourcefulness Program consists of 7 tools: presencing, breathing, whole body listening, fear melters, personas, matching, and F.A.C.T. The context for restoring resourcefulness is when something goes awry, whether it's a big thing in your life or a smaller thing, or something from outside is affecting you, or someone you feel like has done something to you, or even you have thoughts that keep rolling around that throw you off kilter. That's when you would want to choose first always to ground yourself. Where are my feet is what I ask myself. And then where's my breath? Am I breathing? And then I can effectively select which tool of the Restoring Resourcefulness Program I might use. F.A.C.T is the consummate tool. It brings all of the different tools together from the Restoring Resourcefulness Program. I have found it so very useful over the years. In the chat, we put the roadmap. So you have from stress to ease, this thing, and then below it, it's a 2-pager, is the actual roadmap. Whoops. There you go. Can you see it? Which takes you through the steps. When I was first learning this, I would post this up in different places in my house to remind myself of, oh, this is how I go through it. And while it's a map taking you from one point to the other, it's not necessarily a linear journey. So you will start with F.A.C.E, and then as your body tells you you're ready, move into accept, and then realize, oops, I need to go back to something I didn't necessarily face. And then go to accept. So you may go the fa dance. You're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until you sort of settle into, okay, I think now I'm ready to go to choose what's the next thing I'm going to do. And then finally to take action. The 4 steps of F.A.C.T are facing, accepting, choosing, and taking action. It's really important when you're doing the F.A.C.T process that you give yourself, and if you work with other people with it, time and spaciousness to move as the body wants to move through the process. It's not a rush, step 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm done. I often find I come back to F.A.C.T over and over again. Yeah, it's helped me through huge things, like when my father-in-law was dying and we were his caregivers, and often littler things that just come up in day-to-day life, like getting ready for this class. I did one last night with myself. It's like, oh, what am I facing? Accepting, choosing, and taking action with, which was a lot of bodifying and breathing for me last night. All right, so let's go to the first step, which is F, facing. Here are the steps for it. Generally, when we're working with a client, we have the other individuals stand so that they can experience their whole body, but it can be done sitting down. So the first step is pick a place in the space around you where the question or issue seems isolated. Then you turn your body towards the issue so that you're facing it. And then for a couple of minutes, use your whole body to explore how you can turn towards it and you can't turn towards it. Can turn towards it, I can't turn towards it. I want to, I don't want to. I want to, I don't want to. Letting your body share with you what are the things that are barriers for you actually facing whatever the issue is, whatever's come up. And then when your body tells you you're ready, you'll turn and face the issue directly. Then open your body posture, sound a pleasant on your out breath, and ask, what about this question or issue have I not fully faced directly? What about it? I want to talk for just a second before we demo about So if you've ever experienced Gay and Katie's work, is a big deal. We a lot. And what the does is it opens your vagus nerve and it settles your nervous system. So allows the magic of your body to give you more answers. So Sandra, want to play a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. Let me just quickly, because I would like to stand. I quite like.
Okay. So we're only going to do this for 2 minutes to give you a sample. Hi, Sandra.
Sorry.
You got it?
Light adjustment here.
Yeah,
Does it work?
perfect. I can see you. I think everybody can. Do you have an issue you want to play with?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
Michelle, could you possibly put us both there? Perfect. Thank you. All right, then. Here we go. Pick a space around you where the question or issue seems to be located.
I think it's right here.
Right there. Okay. Turn your body towards the issue so that you're fully facing it. now, for a couple of minutes, use your whole body to explore how you can and do turn towards and away from the issue.
Mm. 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 Yeah, I think that feels like,
Yeah, that last breath
yeah.
told me that you were about ready. Okay, so you're facing the issue directly.
Mm-hmm.
How's your body posture? Open?
Mm-hmm.
And you sound a on your out breath.
Mm.
And ask yourself, what about this question have I not fully faced directly?
Mm. What about this issue have I not fully faced directly yet? Mm. 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 Mm.
Got it?
Mhm.
Okay, I noticed your head tipping
Yeah.
as you were facing it.
Yeah, there was a slight element of, am I really done with facing? And yeah, I think it seems, let's try. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to open it up for discoveries, questions to the whole group. You can put it in the chat or just, it's a really small group, so you can just blurt out. What did you see? Or in the explanation, what questions do you have? Have you used F.A.C.T before?
I liked seeing how you waited for that moment where that breath came in the beginning. So you saw a shift inside yourself. It was like, oh yes, my body's telling me I'm ready, not my head telling me I'm ready. So I appreciated that. Felt like an important piece.
And you know, when you're facilitating, it's so interesting because it feels so simple. I mean, you're just reading what's on the piece of paper. But when you're fully present and watching the person that you're leading through the process, I could see at least, and I'm hoping you could too, when her body shifted. It's like when she settled in or when she was ready to go on to the next thing. So it's I think it's a marvelous partnering tool.
Carrie, I
Yeah.
have two questions, if I can ask.
Of course.
Okay. First, I couldn't fully see the whole video, but it sounded like there's not that much talking on the facilitator's part. Is that right? Like it's
That is
really
correct.
leaving a lot of space,
Yep.
not much
Yeah, you
talking or
don't,
checking in or anything.
right, exactly. Even though, like, I was noticing that she was shifting her head from side to side when she was settling in at the end. But
Oh, okay.
it's not something that, what I find is it's not something that I insert myself into the process. I let the person that I'm working with, that I'm leading through the process, and their body tell them what's the next step.
Ah,
It's
okay.
kind of like,
And how,
go
yeah,
ahead.
no, you go ahead.
What I was going to say is, one of the things I've learned over my bazillion years of facilitating things, both in public education and this, is to get out of the way of the learners. It's not
Oh,
about what
that's
I know,
good.
it's about what the other person needs to explore and learn for themselves.
Okay, that's good. I think I needed to hear that. And how do you find it works when there's someone who really doesn't have any um, any exposure or background in this body-based work? So if this is like brand new, first time ever, how do you find that goes? Just letting them be off on their own.
You know, it's not my general jump-in point. I usually,
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, I usually jump in with presencing and breathing before I would go to
Okay,
this. And when we teach the Restoring Resourcefulness course, it's at the end, because it puts together all the different elements and tools.
got it. Okay,
Yeah,
that's super helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have one more question if I can.
yeah.
So I'm wondering for Sandra, what the experience was like on her side of things. Like, I don't know if you can put any words to it after you had that in-body experience.
Yeah, there's one thing that so thank you for the question, because I wanted to say that anyway. What I love about the fact that you have your issue placed somewhere in the room. I sometimes, maybe that's a little bit silly, but I sometimes think of it like I'm looking at a plant or something like that. So if there's a thing there, and especially in the facing step, that I really imagine myself kind of moving around it a little bit and finding out, what have I not faced about this? So there's the fact that it's in space and that I'm standing beside it and feel into what is this external thing that I've made my internal issue. What is it doing? The body experience, how does it land inside of me? Does that make sense?
Oh, yes, that definitely makes sense. So you're kind of visualizing going around it and different ways to face it.
Yeah, exactly. And also
And
before I
then it
really,
kind of just, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, sorry, before I really face it, to the sneaking up on it and the playing around with what is it to really fully face and fully open up to it. That's a really important element for me.
Ah, okay, yeah. And then does the answer kind of it just comes to you through your body?
Yeah, I mean the breath that came, that Terry
Uh-huh.
noticed, was, was really allowing myself to drop into facing everything, and then at some stage that just came. I didn't really think about that. It was just that was what
Ah,
popped up.
okay. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
I wanted to say share about the first thing you were saying about the vagus nerve and the. And when I first joined the Hendrix trainings, it was, we've been several months ago, and that was happening a lot. It was actually, I felt bothered by it. It's like, why is everyone making this noise? This is bothering me. And I didn't know why it was bothering me, but it was probably something that needed to be cleared up through making, using that noise. And I never knew what that sounds, the effects it had on us. So I appreciate hearing that. Um, and I also, something Katie said in our question session yesterday. She was talking about how in her coaching sessions with people, she's really watching the person and looking at their energy, looking at their movements, looking at what happens. And in the initial coaching training I got, it was always like really listening about what the person's saying. So that was the huge focus. It was really focused on listening and empathy and what's kind of going on behind the scenes of even what they're saying through listening. But it wasn't so much of their whole energetic experience and their breath and how that may change. And so this is really nice for me to learn and to be introduced to. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Matthew. So we'll come back to discoveries. Melanie, do you have a real quick something, or maybe we move on and you bring it up to the next one? Your choice.
Okay, it was just a very quick observation. It was just lovely to appreciate her energetics, Sandra's energetics of being in a very light-minded, if you like, just the childlike, very inquisitive curiosity, but it was very clear that was happening to begin with. So it's just nice to know, to invite people into that it's okay, it's safe to be playful and to just check that out as an experiment even. So it's lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's all about the body, which is why we all appreciate Gay and Katie. It's all about the body. Okay, Sandra, second step.
Thank you, Terry. It feels a little bit odd, but back to introduction. So I'm Sandra von Paris. I'm a psychologist, big leap coach, and member of the Restoring Resourcefulness faculty. And one thing I do want to close back to making this a circle rather than a chain. I would like to offer my deepest appreciation for Terry and Michelle, who have been my mentors and playmates for the last 5 years, I think. And yeah, I've learned so much from both of you and have had so much fun with you. So just wanted to say that quickly. Thank you. Yes, so off to accepting. So once we're kind of feeling we might want to try the next step in the F.A.C.T process, let's look at accepting. So maybe very quickly, what does it mean to accept for you? Or what does it mean? What does it feel like? Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever had like a big thing happening to you and you just knew, I can't do anything about it? And eventually, with time, maybe eventually there comes a point that you feel like, and for me, I've experienced a big marriage breakup in the past. And for me, there came a very significant moment where I felt it really deep in my body that I felt, you know what? I can just be with it. It was the sudden absence of wanting to change things or asking, why was it like this or why was it like that? Just the being, the possibility of being with in a non-directional way. That was for me a really, really significant kind of, almost like what was the physical sensation? It was like the pushing and pulling that I had felt myself in beforehand, that was suddenly, it's like a physical letting go, like a release of something that I had been trying to figure out in some way. So, and maybe you've got a memory similar to that, where you think, okay, I remember the way it felt in my body. If you want to bring that into your mind, then maybe that helps with the accepting stage in the F.A.C.T process. So for that, I'd like to invite you to just take a moment. Actually, Terry, are you doing this with me?
Sure.
Or shall I go through the steps first?
Either way.
What would you prefer time-wise?
Well, why don't you quickly read the steps and then we'll
Okay.
done. How's that?
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. So, if you would like to take a moment to relax your breathing and just presence yourself, tighten your belly on the exhale, and then letting your posture open and allow yourself to fill up like a balloon with the inhale. And as your breathing slows and opens, ask yourself, what is the hardest thing for me to accept about this? And then holding one hand out to one side, say, ooh, where's my camera? I want to accept this. And hold out the other hand on the other side and say, and I really don't want to accept this. And then you continue going back and forth between the two commitments of accepting and not wanting to accept your issue. And then notice whether anything changes, whether you either land in one of the two commitments, or maybe there's a third thing in the middle that emerges, which could lead you back to the facing, actually. So if something else if you kind of land in the place that you think, yeah, I can sort of accept this, but, and there's something else, then that would be an invitation to go back to the facing step and to start again with the new thing that emerged. So that was the fa circle that Terry described earlier. So really allow yourself to just notice what's going on in your body without thinking, oh, I need to get to the next step, I need to reach the end. The invitation is really to just let your body do whatever comes up without interfering with trying to plan ahead or trying to figure out where you want to go or what would make sense with the issue you have. Just let your body do whatever it wants to do.
You ready to play?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Let me just very quickly see my center stage camera is doing odd things. It's not going to be too straight.
Oh, yeah. So take a moment to relax your breath by tightening your belly on the exhale and then letting it open and fill like a balloon with each inhale. As your breath slows and opens, ask, what's the hardest thing for me to accept about this?
What is the hardest thing for me to accept about this?
Then, holding out a hand to one side, say, I want to accept this. And with the other hand on the other side, I don't want to, or I feel scared to accept this. I want to, I don't want to. Continue going back and forth at your own pace between these statements, making sure you add the and.
I don't want to accept this at all. I do want to accept this. Actually, I really don't want to accept this at all. No. I do. I do want to accept this. I do want to accept this. I don't want to accept this. I don't want to accept this. I do want to accept this. I want to accept this. I want to accept this.
I notice the breath again.
Yeah.
It's like when you get to the space, you have to take this big breath in and land. Great.
Yeah. And it was about the When I did the first it wouldn't go as deep. And when I was here, the I could have extended it for ages. So that felt good.
Great. Okay, let's open it up to the group for a minute or so. What did you see? Got any questions? Can you see the magic of the body? Yeah.
I had a quick question about, you were saying we can go back to the first step. So tell me more about that. If we discover, what is the discovery if we need to go back to the first step?
I'll answer and then Sandra, you come in. For me, it is, I'm having trouble accepting it. So I keep going back and forth. And there's another, like, I haven't really landed on what the real issue is. There's something more to the real issue. So then I would go back to, what is it I'm not facing about this issue? Am I making up a story about it? Or what is it that's kind of the root cause of the issue? Sandra?
Yeah, I've got a relatively recent example. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to do a course, like a training course. And I found myself just not really sending the email that I want to do it, although I thought like I really want to do it. And then I did F.A.C.T, and then I realized, yes, I do want a course, and I want to find out a little bit more before I do commit. So it was like does that make sense? So it was like almost, yes, I do, and before I really make the final decision, I want to get a little bit more information on something that was involved with it. So I went back with that, got some more information, and did F.A.C.T again. And the next time it was like, yes, I needed to find that information to know really deep in my body. Yes, absolutely. We call it a full body yes. It's a full body yes, I want to do it. And I just sent the email. I didn't even need to complete the F.A.C.T to choose and take action. I just took action because it was so clear at that stage.
I realized as you were talking about that, how useful this tool would be with when I don't have a clear yes. It's only yes, and it's not a clear no, but it's not as simple as just saying no, because I don't have an absolute yes.
It's really cool for this layering thing, right? If it's quite a complex decision, it's like peeling back the layers of the onion with each F.A.C.T round. It's really cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, thank you for that. That makes sense.
Good morning. Nice to be with you all. Thank you, Terry and Sandra, for the offering.
I recognize that voice.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I know you?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Anyway, I'm sick and I usually take care of myself on the calls, which means sometimes I lie down if I feel tired, and I can actually kind of focus better on myself and absorbing the information by not being in front of the camera. I haven't mastered that, and I'm not sure it's meant to be mastered, but so I'm wanting to I've been practicing a little on my own issue, observing Sandra, but also like practicing for myself.
Mm.
And what I'm facing is about being sick and the struggle I have with it. Like I have a weekend thing I'm supposed to do this weekend, and so I've been gearing up for getting better so that I can participate in it. And of course, there's some resistance and pressure in there. So when I faced it, I saw that I could that it was very vulnerable to feel that. And I sort of got in touch with, when I am sick, it's actually very vulnerable when I'm up against something. There always seems to be oh, I got to hurry and get better so I can go do this. So I kind of brought a level of compassion to myself, which was nice. So when I was observing Sandra, the questions I had is, one, I didn't know you were turning kind of 180 when you did each hand. Was that correct?
Yes, yes, I did that to help myself to really put myself into the state of that commitment.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, it helps if I really move my body all the way around. Looking at I think you couldn't really see my hands, unfortunately, because my camera was doing something strange.
Mm-hmm.
I had my hand stretched out, and I turned towards my hand on one side and then on the other side.
Yeah.
So the physical act of turning helped me to step out of one commitment and into the other fully.
Okay. So you do that all of the time or some of the time?
Yeah, if I can, I prefer doing it standing up, where I can really just step into it, basically.
Yeah. And then the other question I had is, when we're saying, I want to face this, I don't want to face it, what do you think about naming it? Like for my brain, that kind of makes sense, because if I just said I want to face it, then I'm kind of wanting to think about, well, what am I trying to face or not face? It's like an extra step. So it's a bit of a distraction for me, versus if I go, I want to face that I'm, unwell. I don't want to face it. And I also found myself wanting to say, when you say I want to feel, face this being sick, I wanted to change the word to I'm willing to. So just wondering about modifications like that.
I think you should try it on and see what works for you. What does your body most resonate, so that you are moving through what serves you for your choices? Yeah,
Cool, cool.
yeah, yeah. Your body has the answers.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to move us into the last two steps so that we have sufficient time. And we'll have plenty of time for questions at the end. So the third step is to choose. And when we choose, we continue to with your out breaths, and then create small friendly movements with your hands, arms, whole body as you ask the question of all time: what do I really want? What do I really want? Emphasize different words, use different tones of voice as you're asking. What do I really want? 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 Just move it all over the place, play with it. And then do this until you feel an increase in ease and energy, and then you'll be ready for the next step. Figuring out what I want has been one of my tripping points in life. Doesn't always come up easily. Are you ready, Sandra?
There, now I'm ready.
Okay. So out breaths and the sound. When you're ready, create small friendly movements with your hands, arms, and whole body as you ask, what do I really want?
What do I really want? What do I really want?
Feel free to emphasize different words, use different tones of voice as you're asking.
What do I really want? What do I really want? What is it? What do I really want? What do I really want? What do I really, really want? What do I really want? What do I really want? Yeah.
Got it?
Got it. Yeah.
Settle?
Yes. Yeah, it was a really good example for this because I was just a very quick explanation. It was being torn between managing different people's needs and wants that I have no control over. And the smile came when I thought, what do I want out of all of this? So yeah, that's a nice realization that that was there too.
Yeah. Thank you. I noticed at one point I giggled and I had the thought, Katie is always saying, play with these things. Don't take yourself so seriously. Play with it. And I felt like, yeah. So I felt like it was okay to giggle.
Oh, it was really important to giggle.
Yeah. Super duper. All right, before we get to choosing, anybody have anything about not choosing, about taking action? Yes, hi Sherry.
Hi, I just wanted to say how fun it was to watch you get that piece. You could see when you dropped right in and said, yeah, that's what I want. It was really fun to watch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great examples.
Anyone else?
I was just remembering that Gay once, I once heard Gay say that if you feel stuck, there's something you haven't faced or something you haven't accepted. And so we can't make a choice until we've faced and accepted. There's kind of what I get out of that. So just thought I'd throw that in there.
Important. I'll put that up on my refrigerator.
Yeah, exactly.
I was also reflecting on, yeah, we're so stuck in moving forward. So the movement, I'm seeing the importance of the movement because we're unstucking our energy through the somatic movement, through the sounds, the movements. We're trying to release it out of the body.
Yeah. Oh, Matthew, I had that thought before. That is so important, especially. So one of my favorite fear signatures is flee forward. Got to get it done. And I have this whole committee of personas that helps me with it. So settling back and giving myself the gift of the space to truly come to the answer has been profound for me in making some huge changes in my life. And essentially being present for my life rather than just getting through it. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, there was something really cool for me in there when I threw my hands up in the air and said, what do I really want? That was so much fun that I thought, hey, you know what? That's what I should honor, what I really want out of this. And that's what, so the movement kind of created the shift in there.
So Sandra, if you were to take action now, what would it be? You want to review the steps for us?
Yes. Yes, so that's when you make it real. So once you have the awareness of what you really want, then how are you going to get there? And you, in most cases, maybe you can't get there immediately, but you know that's somehow what you want to reach ultimately. And yeah, maybe at this with this all in the back of your mind, what you've just experienced. Maybe you could imagine like a tiny stepping stone, or maybe how you could celebrate what you have just experienced. How could you honor yourself in what you have just experienced? And again, like we've done before, listen to your body, just really drop in and match your inner experience with, you know, body expression. Just allow your body to speak what it wants to come up with. And that might very easily lead to your action step. And at this stage, I think it's most important to bear in mind, let your body tell you what it needs. Don't, it's quite easy to think now, oh, I want to get there. So how am I going to get there? How am I going to get there in a straight line? Maybe what your body needs most right now has nothing to do with your initial issue or problem. It might just be that your body wants a timeout and wants to go for a walk, do a gym session, go for a swim or whatever, just to find the space to revisit the issue and maybe enter the next F.A.C.T round.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely. So, do you have a small, simple, pleasurable action step that'll lead you to doing what you really want?
Yes, I do.
Sounds like it was obvious when you chose.
Yes, it was in this case because the brief description of the issue has to do with having to manage different people's needs and expectations and kind of being the what's the right word, at the effect of that.
Yeah.
And just finding a little way to honor myself, just to voice, you know, hey, this is what I need. This is how this all affects me. And just to, you know, just to voice it, just to bring it up, rather than like my usual pattern, like I would hide it and just do what is requested of me and hide in that, rather than show my own needs and wants.
So are you willing to jot that down?
Yes.
Do you have
Yes.
a by when that you're going to do it?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So in the last few minutes that we have, I'd like for the whole group to come back and for if you have anything specific about the taking action, but also for the whole tool. What do you think of it? Can you see applications for your own life where you might use it? There's tons of stuff, as there always is, on the Hendricks site. So there's videos, all of that kind of stuff on F.A.C.T. Can you see some applications for your own life where you might use it? Anyone?
Absolutely. Just sitting here and going through, you know, this thing came up, and is that the real issue, or do I need to go deeper? And how soon can I start doing this so that maybe I can clear out some of the backlog? That's what it feels like. There's backlog. So if I can just get to a starting point, and this sounds like a great place to start. Thank you.
The image of you getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Wonderful. Anyone else?
I was just thinking this would be quite helpful in persona work, getting in touch with what persona, or you know, what adaptive child, what child I'm dealing with, who's the one that's, you know, hurt or not loved or not accepted, or what's the real issue? Is it you're not feeling safe? What's behind the issue here? That what's the persona is trying to address. So yeah, I was looking at that.
I love that. I want to jump in here and thank you, Terry and Sandra. That was wonderful. I feel really happy that we were able to learn this in such a. I just love the structure of how you did that. So thank you so much, and thanks everyone. I put a link in the chat if you want to learn more about F.A.C.T. And yeah, thank you. I'm celebrating.
Yeah, so what a great group. Thank you so
Mhm.
much.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. That was really, really
Really
rich.
appreciate people.
Quite wonderful. All
Yeah.
right. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.